How's it going, guys? My name is Almighyloh. I'm here with my second review of the year. This time, we'll be reviewing Rise of the Tomb Raider. I know this game's old. I know there's going to be comments like, nigga, this game came out on Xbox. I know. But I just played it, and I'm trying to get my review strategy down. So yeah, let's get into that. Rise of the Tomb Raider is a third-person action-adventure title that aims to deliver a great story with top-notch gameplay. In the story, you'll be playing as Lara Croft as you go on an adventure to find a divine source. Lara meets allies on the way of her adventure, and they team up to keep the source out of the hands of Trinity. In this review, I'm going to be giving the cons first, or the bad news first. So, my first con is that the story is bland. Even with Lara's upbeat personality, the game fails to give a story that people would actually care about. I suggest that if Lara had a partner to go on the adventure with, like games like The Last of Us or Uncharted 4, we would see more character development. Even with the bad guy Constantine, there's a lack of a reason to dislike him. There's no emotional development between characters, so everybody seems equally likable. I wish they would have shown at least two characters' relationship develop more. Even if it was Laura's and Jacob. Even if it was Lara and Jacob's character, or Lara and Sophia, or Lara and Jonah, or even with the bad guys, Constantine and Anna. Like even with the bad guys, it's still, they just say, oh, we're brother and sister, but they don't, to me, if they didn't say that, you probably think they're just allies or business partners. They have no emotional connection to each other, even when Constantine says stuff like, I'm doing this for you. You don't feel it. So the next con I have is the glitches. Now, the glitches in this game weren't game breaking, but some were annoying. Like I posted one on Twitter the other day, like the guy wouldn't shoot at me. This is a minor con, but at least for the PS4 version, because I played this game on the PS4, there were glitches I ran into that were kind of like a nuisance, but I was still able to play the game how it was going, how I was supposed to go play the game. Okay, so my third con is that the game is too easy. I played this on the third tier difficulty called Seasoned Raider. Even though this is not the hardest difficulty, I figured being new to the series that this mode would give me a challenge while still getting used to the game. I was wrong. The game felt too easy. Maybe I should have played it on the hardest difficulty, but it's still a shame that I felt no challenge from the base game. The only difficulty I faced was when I was lacking ammo, but even then, ammo crates were lying around and looting bodies with the upgrades gave you plenty of ammo. Even with the different types of enemies, with all the tools you have, you was easily able to take them out. Now, my last con is the ending. This is spoiler alert. If you don't know what happens at the end of Rise of the Tomb Raider, I suggest you skip this portion of the review. I don't want to ruin the game for you, but if you don't care, you can stay and you can still listen to what I gotta say. So, my final con is the ending. I hate that ending boss fight. The helicopter fight is so monotonous, so boring. It's uncreative. My question for Square Enix is why did they think a helicopter fight would be a great game ending boss fight? I would suggest that the boss fight would be where Constantine becomes a part of the Deathless and you fight him along with a bunch of Deathless enemies. That would be a better ending than this helicopter fight. It's such a poor ending. The final cutscene wasn't too bad though, so it's not a part of the con list, but I'm just talking about the final helicopter fight. Okay, so now I'm going to be moving to the pros, and my first pro is the gameplay. The gameplay is fast and fluid during the firefights. Very few times I died because the movement system was acting wonky or the glitches or anything. Even with the lack of aim assist on the difficulty that I was playing on, I was still able to get headshots with a premier ease. Also, the platforming had plenty of flow to the game. Now, my second pro is the open world. The open world in this game is full of things to do. You can hunt, Even the big animals, like you can hunt bears, tigers, those give you skins that you can use for bigger upgrades like pouches, for ammo pouches, better weapons, not weapons, but like better bows, better upgrades for the weapons. You can get stuff like that. But also you can explore you can find the crypts and tombs that hold valid information that can be useful while playing the game. My final pro of this game are the tombs. The tombs I had the most fun doing in this game. I didn't do all of them, but I did most of them. And the tombs I did were interesting and challenging. No two tombs are the same. They all have something where you must sit down and visualize how to solve the puzzle. None of them were too difficult, but they all were challenging enough to enjoy, considering that most of the gunfights were too easy. So this was the difficult part of the game, which I very enjoyed. But none of them were mandatory, so if you just rush through the game, you wouldn't feel any difficulty in this game, because it's easy, unless you probably raise the difficulty. But even then, it was probably still easy. For the final verdict, Rise of the Tomb Raider is a fun game that just lacks in storytelling and is too easy for the gunplay. But all in all, I would recommend this game to anybody looking for an exploration. I give this game an 8.5 out of 10 or a B average. If you're looking for a story, do not buy this game with high hopes.